Thank you, Presiding Officer. I am also a member of the GMB, and I've been very, very proud over the years to stand beside especially GMB members in Dundee on many campaigns as they try to save their jobs and protect their terms and conditions. I went yesterday to there are 3 ASDA stores in Dundee. One new one, quite new one, opened 6 years ago at Marra, and I went there yesterday to meet with ASDA officials to challenge them on what I view as the despicable and Dickensian way that they are treating their loyal workforce. And I was told that 400 workers across Dundee, ASDA workers, had been asked to sign up to the new contract, and 360 of them had already done so, leaving 40 still to sign. And I got the impression that ASDA management was quite pleased with that result, that they thought perhaps, you know, that for those 360 people who had signed up to the new contract, that they thought perhaps it was a good deal or an attractive contract. What they failed to remember was that when that store opened 6 years ago, the local press reported that there were 8,000 applications for nearly 300 jobs at that store. Many of those jobs part-time. 8,000 applications, Presiding Officer. That number shows you how much people need their jobs and value their jobs. So this idea that ASDA has convinced itself that 360 people in Dundee wanted to sign up to the new contract is absolutely fanciful. People need their jobs, and that is why they have been forced into this situation. One of ASDA's defences yesterday was about competitiveness. They told me that the new contract brings them into line with other supermarket practices. I asked them why it wasn't other areas of their business, such as their logistic chains or other areas that they could target for cost savings and not take it out on their loyal workforce. And the GMB told me today that ASDA wasn't interested in the industry standards across supermarkets when it came to negotiating their pensions last year. When GMB members were making the case for better pensions at ASDA, the ASDA officials were not admitting that actually pension deals in other supermarkets were much better. Industry standards seem to be purported when it suits ASDA and not when it doesn't. Presiding Officer, a point that hasn't been raised in this debate today, but I found personally sickening, was the stories I heard about ASDA withholding sick pay for workers who were on notice to sign up to the new contract. I raised this with ASDA officials yesterday. They told me categorically that it wasn't happening, but I believe from the union, and I believe them, that some workers had their sick pay withheld, and GMB members were able to appeal this and get it back. But for those people not union members who didn't know about that appeal, it is quite possible that they are still having sick pay withheld. And I think that is one of the despicable aspects of this whole situation. Presiding Officer, I don't want to get too political about this, but I do believe that ASDA workers are bearing the brunt of a race to the bottom, and also the political culture that we have got across the UK at the moment, because ASDA knows full well that that Tory government in Westminster does not bat an eyelid when ASDA tries to take this kind of new contract out on their workers. The changes are Dickensian, asking workers to sign away their terms or conditions and be sacked. I have written today to officials from ASDA to ask them to drop the threat of sacking on Saturday night from 40 workers across Dundee who have not signed the new contract. I really hope they do so.